This is the Ag Queen Podcast. This podcast explores the agriculture industry with the movers and shakers of those shaping it. Here's your host, Lori Boyer.
Mark Twenhafel is my guest here today, and he is the owner of a company called Midwest Ag Control, LLC. We'll be finding out more about his company and what he offers as far as fire control options on the farm coming up. But Mark, first off, tell us more about you.
Well, farm background. Farm's been around since 1910. I right here in Southern Illinois, along the Mississippi River, 2 hours south of St. Louis and 45 minutes north of Cape Girardeau. And we grow row crops, corn, soybeans, predominantly soybeans and wheat.
How did you come up with the concept for your company, Midwest Ag Risk Control?
Well, farming, things catch fire. I had a shredder catch fire, multiple combines catch on fire, and I did what everybody told us to do. You know, you run and you grab that red canister, you pull the pin, you aim, you squeeze, you sweep, and then you grab another one because that didn't do the job. I knew there had to be something better. There had to be. So just like everybody else, I went the next day, went back to farming. Kind of didn't have the problem because nothing was catching fire that day. And I was invited to an appreciation dinner, and not being one to pass up a free meal, I went, and one of the companies that was doing the presentation was a company by the name of Enforcer One out of Peachtree, Georgia. And that's where I was introduced to them. And the product that does the work, that puts it out, is called Fireball. And seeing the presentation, was impressed with them, me and the wife did, and went back what I call doing deep research, which means I went back in, grabbed my hamburger and started eating and playing on the phone, looking at them on the internet, and did the research there. And I went back out and talked to him again because I wanted a little bit more information on him. And JC, wonderful person down there, gave me the information, told me all about it. And again, I was impressed. So went back in to get more, and wife looked at me and she goes, "You went and ordered one, right?" And I was like, "No, I just was talking to him to get information on it." And she goes, "You're gonna order one, right?" So the next day I called down and talked to him and got one shipped to the farm. And it did exactly what it said. Is easy to use, because I played around with fire just like what they did. And it was something that I've never seen before. And the more I started using it, people started seeing it and they're like, "Well, you're going to start selling them, right?" Because nobody has it. So I didn't really come up with a concept to do it. It's just, I was lucky enough to find somebody that had a product that worked. And so that's what got me started in it. And the more I started talking to people and showing people, the more people are impressed. And it's like, I just want to get it out to everybody. So it's nothing that Mark did. Mark just lucked into finding it. And I'm just wanting to bring it to people. And that's why I'm so honored to be on your show.
Mark, I do want to ask you, did you say Firebull, B-U-L-L, or Fireball?
Firebull, B-U-L-L.
Okay, I did hear you correctly. I just thought I would ask, though. Sometimes words on through headphones get a little mushy, so I want to make sure I'm clear on that. How does it work exactly?
So to have a fire, you have to have the fire triangle. You have to have fuel, which fuel's all around us. Everything we're looking at can burn. You have to have air. Air's around us. When heat is introduced, that's what locks the triangle in, and you have fire. So what Fireball does is first it attacks the heat. And that's what, if you watched any of the videos, you'll see I have a rag that is soaked with Fireball, and I have a torch going right on it. The torch is blowing right on the rag. You can see the flames blowing around it. My hand doesn't get hot because Fireball is stopping the heat. So whenever you pull the heat away, the triangle collapses, you have no flames. Where those powder extinguishers and other ones they use, they try to affect the air a little bit. So if you can drop the air out, displace the air, mess with the chemistry of that, the flames go away and you think that you've won, but you haven't, because the heat is still there. And as soon as the oxygen comes back, the flames are right back. And that's what happened to me. So that's where Fireball's different. It attacks the heat, and once that's down, it's gone. It also puts a coating over it so that it is not going to burn back. I'll light stuff on fire, whether it's straw, gasoline, diesel fuel, and oil pan. Once it's sprayed down with the Fireball and that goes out, I'll take a torch and hold it right back to it. It should be reigniting. It's not, because the Fireball is putting that protective coat on, so it's reducing the risk of burn back. And again, whenever you're dealing with fire, I got it out and then it comes back. And I got it out, then it comes back.
And I noticed on the website that this is a foam. So tell me what makes this foam unique.
The main thing is the Fireball, and it mixes with water. At 1%, it can take care of Class A items. So that's your grasses and wood, stuff like that. 3% mix, it will take care of gasoline, oil, lithium batteries, diesel fuel, any of that combustible and burnable stuff. At 6%, it will take care of the magnesium and the metals that burn. So most of the time, whenever people say, well, what do you mix it at? Mix it at 3%, because that'll take care of everything that we're going to have around the farm. We're not going to run into magnesium, aluminum, stuff like that that's going to catch fire. So when you run it through a compressed air foam system, and it sounds like a big thing, and it's not. They're Air 3. It's 3 gallons of liquid that's mixed, a 3-gallon canister of compressed air that you fill with regular air hose. That produces 60 gallons of foam. So it's when the air mixes with the water, you get the foam. So the foam is important, not because of just what it does, but the magnification. So you can visualize carrying around 3 gallons of water. I mean, it's easy. You 5-gallon bucket, you don't fill it up all the way. There's 3 gallons. Can you imagine carrying around 60 gallons of foam? Mm-hmm. No, you couldn't do that. More or less with the Air 3, and they have a 10-gallon, a 30-gallon, a 60-gallon. They do go bigger. And then they do have small canisters. You're magnifying the amount of water, plus you're able to put it farther away. Most of the containers will all shoot 30, 45 feet. So that gives you the reach that you need. It's not necessarily saying that you're going to be 30 or 40 feet away from the fire, but if you need to get around a protective shroud, if you need to get into something, you need that reach, you need that power. After I purchased the Air 3, we were cutting beans, and all of a sudden I hear on the radio our auger guy go to my dad, "Hey, I'm seeing flames drop out your head." And, Dad very calmly said, "Okay." Yeah, no, he didn't. But whenever we got there, what we found out is the center belt had a bearing that locked up. So it was hot. I mean, that's where it was coming from. Well, if you would have had the regular fire extinguisher, you would have been blasting it around, but you wouldn't have got into where the heat was. But with the Air 3, I was able to be on both sides of that belt. And that belt, I mean, it's pretty wide, about 4 foot wide. It blew up, got into where the heat was, and immediately pulled the heat away. Now, we replaced the bearing, but that was it. We didn't have to replace the belt, didn't have to replace the head. That wasn't a $100,000 call that we had to make to the insurance company, because the Air 3, we had it right on the auger wagon, because that follows us around all the time. We had immediate action. And that's what I say. It's what you do in that first minute. The fire is small. It's controllable. If you wait until a volunteer fire department comes, and I love the volunteer fire department. I work with several of them purchasing the Firebolt, but they're not right there. They're busy doing their stuff. So they got to get the tone. They got to stop where they're working or stop at home, go to the truck, get to you. That's time. That fire does nothing but grow in the 15, 20 minutes, whatever it is. That time, your whole machine's engulfed. There's nothing anybody can do on that. But if you get it in that first little bit, that first minute, when it's small and containable and controllable, if you got the right product there, you're done. It's fire's out. Still call the fire department.
All right. Well, we are almost out of time here. What else would you like to mention before we wrap up, Mark?
Well, follow me on Facebook. Send me a message if you have any questions. Be more than happy to talk to you about it. And I hope more people see this and just give me a call. This is shipped direct from the company. I can ship anywhere in the country, actually anywhere in the world. So give me a call and we'll see what we can come up. Each farm is different. There's nothing that I can say, this is package A or this is package B. What do you want? I'm going to talk to you and I'm going to see what's best for you and your farm.
Sounds like such a great safety option, and that's why I wanted to talk with you here today. Once again, I want to thank my guest for joining me, Mark Twenhafel. He is with a company called Midwest Ag Control, LLC, where he offers Firebolt. It is a fire control option, especially when you're out there in the field.
Thanks for tuning in to this edition of the Ag Queen Podcast with your host, Lori Boyer.